Hi, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about process. And, I would go, in fact, to say that structure is not king, process is king. Because if you don't have a process, then you are flying blind, walking blind in a field of all these landmines. And you want to really give yourself a break from the mental stress that trading brings to you guys. Because then every trade that you take becomes, will I win? Will I lose? It adds a huge number on your mental health, and we don't want that, right? So when I talk about process, I'm really talking about no matter what happens, you have to follow your process. And how do you develop a process? And of course, you have to put in the time and effort to figure out what type of a trader you are. You have to put in time and effort to figure out what type of trading style do you want to get involved in. Is it day trading? Is it swing trading? Where do you want to spend your time and effort, and what resonates with you? Once you have all of that in place, figure out what is your strategy, right? So if you're a day trader, how are you going to get in and out of a trade during your trading window? If you're a swing trader, how do you get yourself involved in a trade, and how long do you plan to stay in that trade? What are your exit signals? What is your trade management, right? All of these questions need to be answered. And then as you answer the big ticket items, you keep refining them step by step. That tells you, if this happens, then I want to get involved in the trade. If this does not happen, then for me, the trade is invalid. And once you have that framework in place, following that framework is the process, right? The process starts from when you get to your computers. The process starts from the night before, when you're reviewing and marking and journaling and studying what happened the day earlier in the during the training window. And the process starts in that you carry that over into executing exactly what is written in your paper for your plan, right? So in my case, we make it dirt simple. We make it so simple that anybody can pick it up. Anybody who puts in a little bit of time and effort can understand what we're doing and be really quite successful at it, right? So there is no rocket science. I want to demystify the whole aspect of trading. I want to make trading as accessible as possible, and something not to be afraid of, something not to be scared of. This is my goal, and this is my mission and vision, to bring it all to you all, that trading can be simple. You don't need to make it overcomplicated, and it is a rewarding career if you so choose to be part of this community. So with that being said, I want to share some trades today, and then also we'll go over some the setups that I took, and why I got involved. Okay, so if I look at the screen over here, and I'm going to start drawing my boxes. So for me, the first thing that we do is, my strategy is based on candles, right? I'm not looking at 1 hour, 30 minutes, huge time frame horizons. I want to get involved in the market, and I want to get out of the market as soon as possible, right? So for that, I don't need to spend time in what happened yesterday. What did the opening look like of the day? What did the closing look like? I don't need to bother with all of that, because all of that information does not weigh into my decision making when I'm taking the trade as a day trader, right? I want to know exactly what's happening in the now, and I want to exit as soon as possible, hopefully after winning a trade. Yeah, that's the goal. So I kill all the noise, and I'm looking at candle by candle. And my intention is that I look at one candle. I know if it's a momentum candle that there is a shorter time frame trend in it. And the intention is very simple, that if a trend is established on the lower time frame, if the candle is a strong momentum candle, that the next candle will also be in the same direction, following that lower time frame trend. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and it continues to however many 15-minute candles get printed. So this is a perfect example of this, right? So trend established right here, and I will highlight this for you all. As such, here's the thing, right? Trend established, the next candle trend established, the next candle trend established, the next candle trend established. This is entire full day, full session of downtrend. Why can you not then get involved in any of this? And what does it matter how the opening happened? Where did the price go from here? What's happening here? What are the support and resistance over here? Why does it matter? It should not matter to you, because what I'm looking at right now is only within this box for my entries. I know This is a high. This is the last lower high. This is the higher high. This low does not get broken until this point. So the swing for me on the 1 minute is still bullish. But I'm waiting for this. This internal trend is going downwards. I want to get involved in this. Let's draw this out. This is the last low, right? This got broken out here, right? This is the last high. You tell me, yes, this low, in fact, this is also not the last low. This is the last low, right? Because it broke this structure swing high at this point in time, right there. So this is the leg. Right now we're in a bullish move. Expectation is price pulls back and then moves forward, right? Irrespective if the price pulls back and moves up or price continues going downwards, there are two things that are happening. If you wait till this swing structure goes and you're waiting for the price to pull back, you have already missed all of this, right? This is during my session window of London Open. You've missed all of this. Why would you want to miss this? Why are you waiting for price to go all the way back here, the swing structure to agree with you, and then you want to take a trade? You don't need to do that as a day trader. That confluence is good. If the swing is on your favor, it's also good. I'm not saying that it's a bad confluence, but that is a weaker confluence for me than the immediate internal trade. That's what I am interested in, because I want to catch this right. So you can catch this right all the way down till this point where possibly it could go up and break this swing structure, or the better thing in this case that happened with us was the price just kept falling, right? So I want to get involved in this. How do I get involved? I draw my square box on this, and the only thing that I'm interested in is in this candle. And people sometimes overcomplicate things, right? So supply and demand, SMC, the markets are fractal, right? So what that means is that whatever you see happening on a 4-hour, 2-hour, 1-hour window, and all the supply zones and demand zones and price moving into those zones back again, getting a reaction, all of that can be transferred into lower time frames, right? All of that. And all of that could be transferred into shorter and shorter windows, like a 15-minute window. All of that could be transformed into it, because I want to take advantage of supply and demand, which is what moves markets. I want to take advantage of liquidity, which is also what moves markets within that window, so that I get involved into a trade that gives me those high probabilistic winners. In this case, what happens? Price very quickly comes into this supply zone, right? I have taken out liquidity at this point in time, all within this 15-minute window, right? And then once that is taken out, I simply place my short order. Either I cover the high of this 4.5 pips, or I cover the zone, and look at that. Look at that beautiful trade. That's an 11-hour trade, right? Just following my process. I could care less if this came out, took me out. I could care less if it gave me a winner. I could care less if, I don't get excited when winners happen. That is another thing I wanted to highlight, is because that was my expectation. I put in that amount of work in it. I put in the process. I'm following that process with the anticipation it will win. So why are you getting happy if your process is working? That's good. You did the work. It's happy. It's go lucky time. But why do you get sad, or why does it bother people when the process does not work and you get a loss? It is part of the game. You will get losses. Now, no process is 100% guaranteed for a winner every single trade. You will get those losses. So if this was a loss, I will simply scrap it as a loss, part of doing business, and I'll move on to my next trade following my process. Right? And why it does not bother me is because over a large sample size, I've tested this again and again. My process works. If I took this trade 100 times, more than 60-70% of the time, this will win, right? So that is where my confidence comes in, and that confidence comes in when you're putting that much of effort in back testing, forward testing, and defining what your process is going to look like. Okay, so very, very simple trade, simple win for me. This is exactly what it should have done, and it did that, right? So let's move on. So let's take this out. Let's take all of that out so we don't confuse. Let's move on to another candle, right? So let's see if we have a trade in this 15-minute candle. So this is the first candle that I highlighted. The intention is to catch a trade, a wick, right? To follow the earliest possible entry to follow the trend downwards. In this case, for me, there was no trade. The price did come to me, but it was completely at the end of the candle. So I don't trade towards the candle closures. So for me, there's no trade. I move on. Let's see this momentum candle. Was there a trade? There's a nice long wick to it, which I'm assuming is going to give us a nice trade. So how do I get a trade involved, right? So this is the supply. Price mitigated it, right? Potentially, this would be the liquidity point, right? Why do I call this a liquidity point? Because it took the previous candle's high and broke structure to the downside. This would have been a liquidity point, but this did not break any structure. In fact, let me see if this did. No, so the low of this candle and the low of this candle are exactly the same. So this high did not break any structure, right? So for me, this is no liquidity point here, but there was definitely a mitigation. There was a reaction from that point. There is liquidation that happened from this candle. So I would take my trade as such, put a stop order, put my stop loss at the top of that candle, or if I want to cover the zone, and that's your trade again, all the way down. So you had this one is what, 5-hour, a little over, and if you covered the top, 6-hour. So you could have had 11-hour, 6-hour trade, 2 trades that followed the process perfectly, identical trades, right? So let's draw the previous one too. How did we capture this trade? If you remember, this was the liquidity point, and this right here was the zone that we created from, and that was the entry. Right here is the entry. Tell me, is this not the same as this? Is this not the same as this? Exactly the same. Liquidation, mitigation of a zone, reaction, entry, run the trade, run the trend. That's all it is. You should not be afraid of the markets. If you know what you're doing, this is one of the most rewarding ways that you can make a living, but you have to follow your process. The biggest problem is when you deviate from your process, that's when all hell breaks loose. Losers get start stacking up. You lose your mind. You become desperate. You take risks that you shouldn't be taking, and before you know it, if you've blown up your entire account. All right, guys. So hopefully this added some value to your current state, and we'll catch you up in the next video. Take care. Bye now.